Millions of us are practicing social distancing to try and help flatten the curve of the coronavirus. The ripple effect we're seeing from this is massive, from the economy to our mental health. Let's focus on just one thing for now: the ripple, coronavirus, and the environment. China and Italy were impacted by coronavirus earlier than the US, and over time, satellite images have shown a noticeable difference in, of all things, pollution. This image from NASA's Earth Observatory shows how nitrogen dioxide levels dropped between January 1st and February 25th. According to one analyst with the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, carbon dioxide emissions also dropped nearly 25% compared to the same time last year.
So what we're seeing as industrial production slows down and as transportation is significantly reduced is we are seeing major improvements in air quality and carbon emission reductions around the world. They were seen first in China, then in Italy, and now they're spreading everywhere that we are shutting down and practicing physical isolation to limit the spread of this pandemic.
Data from the European Space Agency shows a drop in emissions from January to March in Italy. Climate scientist Katherine Hayhoe explained on Twitter how coronavirus and other viruses are multiplied by climate change. Air pollution makes people more susceptible to respiratory illness. And one Chinese study shows air pollution kills nearly 9 million people every year.
And so one of my colleagues at Stanford who studies this, a man named Marshall Burke, he's estimated that the number of lives saved in China through reduced air pollution, if this continues, would actually exceed the number of deaths from COVID-19. But there's the big qualifier, if it continues. Because what's likely to happen is, as the pandemic passes, our production and our transportation will ramp right back up again. In fact, in many cases, it might be even greater than it is today because we're trying to make up for lost time, lost productivity, lost income, and lost jobs.
Social distancing is reducing the likelihood of exposure to the virus, but it's also impacting the planet. The canals in Venice, Italy are usually super murky, but under the lockdown conditions, boat traffic has been reduced, and now the water appears much clearer.
One of the things we're seeing is we're seeing blue sky in places where we haven't seen a lot of blue sky. So we're actually seeing a glimpse of what the future could look like, not if we shut down industry and the economy, no, but if we transition industry and transportation in our economy to clean energy, we would still be able to have a healthy economy, transportation, but with the clean air that so many are starting to experience today.
As the U.S. works to contain the coronavirus, the same measures are being taken to keep people in their homes here. Jordan Wildish with Earth Economics developed an online tracker to monitor air quality, and 4 major cities are showing big changes. Seattle, New York, LA, and San Francisco all have seen at least a 10% reduction in emissions in the last 10 days. But all these measures are temporary. Once business as usual picks back up, so will emissions unless things change.
I feel like the biggest thing that we're all learning these days is that what really matters when it all comes down to it is maybe not some of the things that we thought matter, but rather just our health and our safety and that of our family and our friends and people we love and our community and the city where we live. That's what really matters, and that's what this pandemic threatens. And long term, that's exactly what climate change threatens too. So when it all comes down to it, we all do want the same things.
So while the images of clear canals are really powerful, this is all a reminder to take care of the things that matter most.